National Bank in Taylorville, first every time, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
WTIM planting reports are brought to you by our title sponsor, Apex Clean Energy, planting the seeds for a better future in Illinois. Also brought to you by Wiffles Hybrids, and your local Wiffles planting reports are brought to you by our title sponsor, Apex Clean Energy, planting the seeds for a better future in Taylorville, Central Commodity FS, First National Bank of Pana.
WTIM. You're listening to WTIM, your information station, and our morning show, which is brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman. Sitting across from me today is Andrew Holsinger. Andrew is the horticulture educator, or a horticulture educator, with the University of Illinois Extension. Andrew, good to see you again, sir.
Yeah, good to see you.
It's not been that long, and it's good to see we've got more here for the month of May, and as we move into the summer months as well. We touched on the annual plant sale in our conversation before we got our start, but I heard it was very successful, the one that was held here in Christian County. I know you wanted to touch on that a little bit there, but what can you tell me about the annual plant sale from your point of view?
Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity for people to pick up some plants at a low cost, but that cost that you paid for, the master gardeners use those funds to help fund their projects that they do, and maybe there's signage that they need, or a new tent canopy, or just things that go along the way that you don't necessarily think about the cost involved. And there's a wealth of resources that the master gardeners have access to, and they help disseminate horticulture information. And so there's a new annual report, kind of an impact report about the Master Gardener program, and you can find that online. We might print out some copies at the office, but it's just amazing to see how much effort the Master Gardeners bring. It's like so many staff positions that they could represent because of the volunteer hours that they put in.
And if I remember right, I think all plants were like $5 or less, and it's some really, I'd say, beneficial things for the community, and also beneficial. It's a give and take relationship there. And so I was really happy to see and hear that the plant sale went as well as it did. Your help desk is now open. So let's say I just bought some plants from the plant sale, and all of a sudden they're not doing as hot as they were with some master gardeners. The help desk is open, and it's open actually as of this moment right now. What can you tell me about it?
Yeah, the help desk stays open from May to September. And on those Thursdays from 9 to 11, a master gardener, if available, will be there to answer questions and help guide you through your way. So if you have maybe a tree problem and you can bring a sample of some leaves or some photographs, if you have an insect, maybe you can capture that insect and bring it in to be examined. But a few things I've learned along the way of these help desks is you want to kind of contain your samples that you're bringing in. So like you might catch the perfect sample of a bed bug, but you want to have it in a secure container whenever you're bringing things like that into the office. So just be cautious if you don't know what it is. You know, keep a distance, if you will. I mean, I think there's been poison ivy been brought in before at some help desks, so just be cautious whenever you're out in your landscape that you might encounter things that you don't know about, and
that might not be great for you.
Might not be.
So if you want to avoid those leaves of 3 and some serrated edges, maybe don't bring in some poison ivy and a crazy bug or two. Yeah, let's keep it in the net. Let's keep it in an enclosure, if you would. I can understand why some folks at the office probably wouldn't want certain things flying around or being a part of that. But from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., help desk is open on Thursdays from May to September. And now we're in farmers market season as well. Mm-hmm. And the master gardeners are there twice monthly from May to August. With the farmers market, you get that wealth of knowledge, as you mentioned earlier. What can you tell me about the farmers market and the master gardeners' involvement in it?
Well, they've been pretty consistent with their attendance there at the farmers market, and they have a tent and a table, and they bring out resources and are there to answer questions. And it's a great time to be a gardener, and it's even better time to be a master gardener. So they're probably looking for a little bit of recruitment effort while they're out there. If you're interested in becoming a master gardener, we'll have trainings coming up. And so you could be that next master gardener to be there at the farmer's market tent helping out. So just want to encourage people that gardening can be fun, can be exciting. And the University of Illinois has a nice curriculum of master gardener training. And we have that online capability, a hybrid capability to where you can learn a little bit as you go, have flexibility with the offerings. So if you're interested, reach out to us and we'll see when our next training will be. We're looking towards the fall here.
So let's add to that slew of titles, right? All of a sudden I've got, this degree or that degree, whatever the case might be, and I could be a master gardener too. That'd be an interesting little piece there. So if you've already been gardening for years, that might be an interesting thing. And you mentioned that it's online or hybrid. The same can be said for a lot of workshops and whatnot as well. So gives those options and how to be a part of them. You've presented me here with a little fact sheet on poison hemlock, and I've seen this plant, but don't know much about it. So I'm glad you're here to tell me about it. It's dangerous, I know that much, but where can you fill me in on the gaps other than that?
Well, this poison hemlock is a weed that is toxic. So there's all the parts of the plant are toxic. It could lead to death if it was ingested. So it's one to be cautious about. If you maybe if you had the weed eater out and you were weed eating and you hit this plant, it could cause problems. There's other plants that cause some of that reactions to your skin, like we mentioned, poison ivy. So just increase your awareness of what plants you may be coming in contact with and how you approach those. There's some might have like the chipper shredder that they're running materials through, and it's all part of it. Whenever you're dealing with plants in the landscape, there's plants that do have some negative effects, that they could be toxic, they could cause skin irritation. So I just wanted to help increase the awareness. And some of these plants that we encounter also have an invasive tendency to where, like the bush honeysuckle's in bloom now, and they're just hard to get rid of. So the quicker you find the invasive plants, the better off you're going to be, and the better your landscape's going to look in the long run.
What I didn't know about poison hemlock here is that it's a member of the carrot family. And looking at this example of a picture here, it does almost look like a giant carrot top. The other part of it here is that they can grow 6 to 10 feet tall. How do you maybe see it before it grows 6 to 10 feet tall? Or is it, hey, it looks like a carrot top out in the middle of my garden or on the edge of my landscaping? Is there a way to kind of locate it and realize that's poison hemlock before it gets to be that big?
Well, it is a biennial species. And so biennial means that it's going to have its life cycle over the period of 2 years. So it's going to be in a basal rosette kind of form for the first year, and then it will flower and set seed the second year and then complete its life cycle. So with this, the plants are going to set seed and then help to spread the plant. And so it could be mowed to an extent, could use herbicide, but you want to be cautious around the plant whenever you're dealing with it. So it's got purple spots along the stem, and it does have a hollow stem. So some of these characteristics can keep you from, you might have like Queen's Anne lace is also in that carrot family, but it has a few different characteristics than this particular poison hemlock.
Interesting too. Biennial, not biannual, biennial plant. So it's growing for that first year, and its sole purpose is almost just to spread further out for that second year come around, if I picked up on what you were throwing out there correctly.
Right.
Is there any other thing when it comes to a typical garden plant or a dangerous garden plant? You got the poison hemlock. You mentioned that Queen Anne's lace. as well. Are there any others that folks should be aware of?
There's a number of toxic plants that are out there. The University of Illinois has a toxic garden, if you will, to where they've have like a demonstration of some of these plants being planted. And there's other similar gardens throughout the country that have a focus on some of these deadly plants. And one of the ones that comes to mind is the castor bean plant. So the castor bean plant is one of the most toxic plants with its seeds, and makes for a nice decorative ornamental, but it also has those. So you have to be cautious whenever you're planting, and whether you're children or grandchildren or pets, the encounters of berries. There's some berries that can be toxic. So just think about what you're putting into your landscape and what you may have or what may come to your landscape whenever you're gardening.
That for me, the pets piece, and also young children, but the pets piece, checks out with me. So whether it's a castor bean plant, new to me, maybe new to you out there, poison hemlock, Queen Anne's lace, there are toxic plants. There are poisonous and dangerous plants to be aware of. So that's why we've got horticulture educator Andrew Holsinger with the U of I Extension joining us here on the morning show. We'll be right back around with more when we return. You're listening to WTIM, your information station.
WTIM. Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn steady, beans double-digit lower, wheat trading higher. July corn up a penny, 446.5. September corn down 3, 424.25. December new crop 437 3/4 down 2 3/4. July beans 1054 3/4 down 23. August beans down 22 1/4, 1052 1/4. November new crop 1041 down 20 1/4. July wheat 527 up 2 1/4. September wheat 541 1/4 up 2 1/4. July bean meal 293.70 up $1.80. July bean oil 49.32 down $3. Livestock market May feeders 297.17 down 240. June live cattle down 205, 211.90. June lean hogs down half $1, 98.35. Energy market June crude oil down $1.64, 61.51. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
Baseball is a game of agility, power, and speed. That combination provides wonderful moments all season long.
Every hit, every home run, and every pitch. It all matters in a long season. Any moment could be the next moment that you don't want to miss.
I love bringing those moments to life for our listeners right here on the Cardinals Radio Network.
And I love how it sounds on the radio. Don't miss any of the action.
St. Louis Cardinals baseball.
Cardinal baseball, heard on WTIM, your information station. The Big 870 across central Illinois, 96.1 FM in Christian County, 107.5 FM in Shelby County, and 107.9 in the Pena-Nokomis area. It's brought to you by First Federal Savings and Loan, Quarter Copy Print Shop, Memorial Presbyterian Church, Bob Writings Pena, and Kemmer Village.
Cardinals baseball on the Big 870 across central Illinois, WTIM.
This is Joe Wills with People's Bank and Trust, where customers have one business banker who understands their business and provides the right financial services to achieve their financial goals. Your business banker is your single source for all your financial needs, from cash management to lines of credit, from mortgages to equipment loans, and everything in between. Call me at 888-PBT-1954. At People's Bank and Trust, we put people first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is Megan Lopez with Nesty's Burger Joint on the south side of the Taylorville Square. To see our menu, click on our icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
This is Shawless Nagel, Executive Director at Kemmer Village in Assumption. To learn more about our services, click on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
And we're back with the WTIM Morning Show, brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm joined right now by Andrew Holsinger, horticulture educator with the University of Illinois Extension. And with less than a minute to go, let's get some contact information out to the folks.
All right. Well, my email is aholsing@illinois.edu. The phone number you can reach me at, probably the direct one, is 217-300-9210.
217-300-9210.
Yep, that's correct.
300.
And again, the Master Gardener Help Desk is open. And if you have other questions, you can also reach out to me.
Great time to leave it. Andrew Holsinger, horticulture educator with the University of Illinois Extension, joining us here on the morning show. You're listening to WTIM, your information station.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville.
96.1 FM Taylorville.
107.5